What if the greatest trick AI ever pulls isn't replacing the artist, but convincing the world that all this endless, flawless, instant output is what creativity looks like? In 2025, researchers at Wharton made a startling discovery. They found that while AI tools can dramatically boost an individual's creative output, they cause a collective crash in diversity. Teams using the same AI suggestions began to think in lockstep. Their ideas, though higher in quality, started to look eerily similar. It's a paradox. We're surrounded by more creation than ever before, yet we risk being drowned in a sea of sameness. But here's the real question we're tackling today. What is being lost in that homogenization? If AI masters the mechanics of assembly, the logic, the patterns, the optimization, what becomes of the messy, illogical, and profoundly human spark that starts a fire in the first place? Is our capacity for wonder, for irrational connection, for meaning-making the final frontier? This isn't just about art or marketing. It's about the future of your cognitive sovereignty, your value, your voice. Stay with us. Welcome back to Future Vision Talks. I'm Jordan. If that opening sat with you for a second, if it sparked a flicker of unease or recognition, then we're starting in the right place. We are living through what historians may one day call the Great Cognitive Shift. For centuries, human advancement was tied to mastering logic, efficiency, and problem-solving. Now, we've built machines that excel at those very tasks. A study from the University of Toronto even found that models like GPT-4 can surpass the average human on certain standardized tests of divergent thinking. So, the old rulebook is obsolete. The question is no longer, can the machine do it, but what can only we do? The answer lies not in competing with AI's fluency, but in understanding and doubling down on the deepest, most mysterious wellspring of human progress, our native creativity. But let's be clear, I'm not talking about just being artsy. I'm talking about creativity as our core operating system for navigating a complex world. Today, we're going on a deep dive. We'll explore the neuroscience of your aha moment, the alarming data on AI's creative limitations, and the emerging blueprint for a future where humans don't just survive alongside AI, but thrive because of what AI can never touch. This is about future-proofing not just your job, but your humanity. To see the future, we must first understand the present battle lines. So let's start in the domain where AI is undisputed champion. The great optimization. AI's prowess is breathtaking. It can generate 1,000 marketing taglines, draft legal documents, propose engineering solutions, and compose music in the style of Bach, all before you finish your coffee. Its superpower is fluency and pattern synthesis on a scale we cannot match. It scours almost the entirety of human digitized knowledge and recombines elements with staggering speed. This has led to a seductive narrative. AI is becoming creative. But when we peer under the hood using the tools of cognitive psychology, a different, more nuanced picture emerges. Let's talk about a seminal 2025 study from researchers in Paris. They gave both humans and ChatGPT-4 a classic creativity test called the egg task. Generate as many ideas as possible to prevent an egg from dropping when dropped from 10 meters. The results were telling. AI was brilliantly fluent, producing a large number of ideas. But, like humans, its ideas clustered heavily around the most obvious conventional categories: cushion the fall, protect the egg, slow the fall. It exhibited a pronounced fixation bias, stuck on the path of least resistance. Most damningly, the AI showed a limited capability to differentially evaluate originality. It struggled to distinguish a truly original idea from a conventional one. It could generate, but it couldn't curate based on genuine novelty. Think about what this means. AI is a mirror, reflecting and remixing the patterns it has seen most frequently. Its creativity is statistical, not visionary. It optimizes for what has been, not for what could be. As one computer scientist bluntly put it, AI output is a matter of analogy, a sophisticated remix. It lacks the intentionality, the conscious desire to bring something new into the world simply because it doesn't yet exist. This leads us to the crucial paradox highlighted by the Wharton research. AI elevates the individual, but homogenizes the collective. If you and your competitors all use the same AI tools trained on the same data, prompting them in similar ways, where will breakthrough innovation come from? You risk a crowdless future, where output converges on a competent, high-quality mean, but the true outliers, the ideas that change industries, are extinguished before they can even spark. So, if AI handles the how-to with blinding speed but inherent constraint, what's left for us? The answer lies in the very things AI's architecture lacks: the spark, the leap, the why. Centered in the prefrontal cortex, this is our project manager. It's engaged when we consciously learn a skill, research a topic, or critically evaluate an idea. It's all about focus and rigor. This is the default mode network, the system that lights up when we daydream, shower, or let our minds wander. It's where subconscious connections are made. The magical aha moment of insight is often associated with a flash of activity in the parietal cortex. Creative genius isn't about staying in one network. It's about the fluid toggling between them. It's the disciplined composer, executive network, who, after hours of frustrating work, goes for a walk, default mode, and suddenly hears the perfect melody in the rhythm of the rain. This toggling is what author and creativity strategist Natalie Nixon beautifully frames as moving between wonder and rigor. Wonder is our capacity for awe, blue sky questions, and dreaming. Rigor is our discipline, deep skill, and attention to detail. True creativity, she argues, is the ability to toggle between these two states to solve problems and deliver novel value. AI is spectacular at a hyper-accelerated form of pseudo-rigor, processing existing patterns. But wonder? That's our native habitat. This biological dance fuels the three uniquely human engines of the creative leap. AI answers questions with existing data. Humans ask questions that challenge existing data. Inquiry is about falling in love with the problem, sitting with ambiguity, and asking, what if, in ways that have no precedent. It was human inquiry, not data optimization, that asked, what if we could see the gravitational waves from colliding black holes? This is creativity in real time, responsive collaboration. It's jazz musicians building on a riff, a surgeon adapting to an unexpected complication, or a team using a yes and approach to brainstorm. It requires being hyper-present, listening, and adapting within a flow state, a complex social and cognitive feat that goes far beyond predictive texts. That gut feeling, the hunch? Neuroscientists see it as rapid, unconscious pattern recognition, but of a deeper kind than AI's. It's the pattern of a client's unspoken hesitation, the aesthetic sense that a color is off, or the spiritual sense of place an architect feels for a site. As one designer put it, our deepest connections to our environments are shaped by intuition, empathy, and the subtle ways we connect. AI has no gut, it has a database. The future, therefore, isn't human versus machine. It's human as conductor and AI as the orchestra. The most powerful creators will be those who can orchestrate these tools without letting the tool dictate the symphony. We're already seeing this blueprint emerge. In education, researchers are finding that AI can supercharge less confident students, but warn of a careful approach to prevent erosion of creative confidence. In design, experiments show AI can lower cognitive load, freeing students to think more conceptually. But the key is using it to augment, not replace, the human design intuition. The fatal error is starting the creative process with AI. As Kartik Hosanagar's research at Wharton shows, when AI is used in early ideation, it anchors and homogenizes thought. The winning strategy? Human-led ideation, AI-augmented refinement. She starts with a personal, emotional driver. I want to capture the melancholy and mystery of an autumn forest at dusk. She uses an AI image generator as a high-powered sketchpad, prompting it to explore melancholy forest patterns. It produces hundreds of visual options in minutes, far more than she could draw by hand. This is the critical step. AI cannot do. She sifts through the AI's output, not for what is correct, but for what resonates with her original emotional spark. This texture here, it feels lonely. That color gradient has the right twilight gloom. She takes those selected digital fragments and uses her physical skill with paint, charcoal, or digital brushes to reinterpret them. She injects her own hand, her mistakes, her lived experience. The AI provided novel components. Emily provides the unifying vision and meaning. In this flow, AI expands the palette, but the human holds the brush and the vision. This collaboration is what the World Economic Forum calls human-centric AI, redesigning work so AI handles optimization, freeing humans to focus on empathy, creativity, critical thinking, and innovation. This brings us to the deep, unsettling questions at the heart of this shift, questions that algorithms cannot comprehend. A 2025 study on visual art presented participants with identical images, telling one group it was human-made, the other AI-made. Eye tracking showed they looked at the art the same way, but they valued the human art significantly more. The knowledge of a creator's consciousness, struggle, and intent changes the meaning of the artifact itself. If a perfect sonnet is generated by AI about love it has never felt, is it art? Or is it just aesthetically pleasing data? Psychologist Mark Runco argues that intentionality is fundamental to human creativity. We create because we choose to, driven by emotion, need, or a desire to communicate. And AI generates because it is prompted. It has no why. As AI-generated content floods our world, what some call AI slop, does this erode our shared sense of cultural meaning, of artifacts born of human experience? Researchers warn of the over-reliance on AI, akin to pilots losing manual flying skills. If we outsource our ideation and problem-solving to AI, do we risk atrophying our own creative muscles, our ability to inquire, improvise, and intuit? What happens to the next generation's capacity for breakthrough thinking? This isn't speculative. It's the operational reality of our next decade. The organizations that will thrive, according to the world's top business thinkers, won't be those with the smartest AI, but those who best design the human-AI collaboration. They will build mindful friction into workflows, insisting on raw human ideation first. They will use multiple AI models to avoid homogeneity. They will understand that the goal is not to use AI to think for us, but to think with us, so we can reach further than ever before. So we end where we began, but I hope you now hear the question with greater depth. The paradox isn't that AI kills creativity. The alarm bell is that it might lull us into forgetting what creativity truly is. Not the flawless output, but the flawed, courageous, and meaningful input. It risks making our collective output uniform while making our individual creative humanity the rarest and most essential commodity. The frontier of the future is not digital. It's cognitive, emotional, and profoundly human. So here is my final question for you, and it's the most important one. What is the one project, idea, or problem you care about that can only be solved by integrating your unique human experience, your memories, your emotions, your irrational loves, your values, with the tool of AI? That project is your compass. That is your unautomatable advantage. The world doesn't need more optimized content. It needs more of that. The conversation is just beginning, and it happens right here. In the comments below, I want you to answer that question. Share the human spark you want to bring to the world. Let's have a messy, inspiring, deeply human discussion. If this journey clarified your path, if it challenged assumptions or lit a new fire, then do me a crucial favor. Hit the like button, share this with one person who needs to think about their creative future, and subscribe to Future Vision Talks. We are here to map these complex frontiers together. I'm Jordan. Until next time, don't just use your tools. Listen to your wonder. Protect your leap.